Today's Monday, and this Monday for me has been a bit of a different type of day. I've done a few one-off jobs just to get them off my list now. I've took some footage of it, so I shall show you now some of the footage I took today. After today though, I'm sort of pretty much in full swing of my the way I want my weeks to go from now on. Like, my schedule should be sort of in full swing after today. I just really want these one-off jobs. Have been hanging around for a heck of a long time, and you know, every time it would come up to be the day to do one of these one-off jobs, it would just be pouring down with rain, so it has been a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, and I think, I'm hoping by the end of the week the weather looks like it is really going to improve. Apparently on a Thursday could be well up to around about 25-26 degrees, which is mind-blowing, because the last couple of weeks has really struggled to get above sort of 10 degrees, so happy days. Anyway guys, enjoy the footage. Here it comes.
You always know it's going to be a good job when the first thing the customer does is bring you out a cup of tea in the morning. So this job ended up being really good. Just a case of clearing these beds here, and a bit at the back here is a little triangle bed where the guy planted some runner beans, that sort of thing, last year. Just wanted me to give that a good weed through. That soil was really good. He'd obviously put a bit of sand in with it last year, so it broke up really easily and was very easy to dig. The job here was just a general go round, really, give the garden a bit of a spruce up for spring. Customer wanted me to give the lawn the first mow of the season. He wanted me just to run over it for him. The job went very well, nothing too hassly. Got 2 cups of tea, and he is now looking to become maybe a regular customer. He wants me to maybe pop in twice a month, that sort of thing, maybe just to run over the lawns, maybe just to keep an eye on all the beds, make sure everything's looking nice and tidy. One of the biggest problems I come to with YouTube videos doing gardening is to try and keep the content fresh. A lot of the times you'll be seeing the same gardens over and over again, and these 2 gardens that I did today, which I filmed, was nice because I hadn't ever been there before, and I was just nice to give you, show you something different for a change, and also nice for me to be able to film something different for a change. This job's all done. If only all the jobs I pick up lately are as easy as this, I would be an extremely happy gardener. Can't always be said, but this job really went without a hitch, and customer's going to call me soon, and we've got a few more bits and pieces he wants me to sort out for him. So in between another couple of jobs, managed to pop into this property and get this one looking nice and under control. I love the way the grass always looks in spring. Absolutely my favourite time to be cutting grass, springtime. And also had a little helper come with me for a few hours on this day, and she done a good job. She earned a biscuit. Now this job is a little bit different to the first job I showed you. The grass is pretty out of control here. This hasn't been mown since August of last year. And when I looked at this probably sort of 3 weeks before I actually got around to do the job, it wasn't half this bad. And yeah, when I turned up to do the job, I was sort of shocked at how much growth it had put on within sort of 3 weeks, considering the temperature had been sort of fairly rubbish. I'm so glad that I left this job to do on a dry day. I'm also glad that I did this job before the weather really improved this week, because it would have probably put on another sort of 2 or 3 inches worth of growth. So I'm glad I got in to do it when I did. So this is a place I've done a few bits and pieces for before. I actually used to work here as a builder back in a long time ago. But the first time I've ever cut the grass for the customer here. So my first thing was just have a good walk around the grass, make sure there's nothing in there that I don't want to hit. Obviously trimmed all the edges, got everything sort of all edged out nicely. I know that in this lawn or around the lawn they have a lot of decorative stone, so I knew that from before, so I was obviously a little bit careful when it comes to trimming. If I'd have known beforehand how much growth this grass would have put on, I probably would have taken my other mower, my Honda 4-wheel mulching mower, as I call it. It just deals with long grass a lot better than the little hater does, like this. I just was so surprised when I turned up, and unfortunately, because I hadn't sort of realised how long this grass was going to be, I didn't take 2 mowers this day. I thought I'd be alright with just the hater, but it got quite late in the day now. It's sort of around about 5 o'clock, and I didn't really want to be shooting home to get a different mower. I just wanted to get this done. I was actually quite surprised how well the hater handled this long grass. I don't think I've ever put it through anything quite so sort of long and scruffy before. Normally my hater is for my nice lawns, you know, the getting them nice and striped and looking good, and they're obviously sort of smaller lawns. But it was quite a good test for it. Just had to take it pretty slow. I mean, you can see the sort of length I'm going through here. I did cut it twice. I went through it one direction, and I went through as a sort of crisscrossed it as a different direction, which I probably would have done anyway if I'd have had my 4-wheel mower. Didn't take that long to do it. Whenever you're cutting long scruffy grass like this and the customer wants you to get it short, you're always going to have the grass looking pretty rough the sort of first couple of cuts, and the customer understands that. I had to first cut this on the highest setting on the hater. I think it's like number 7, which I've never used before, and then the second cut I went over it on number 5, brought it down a couple, just to get it back under control. But the customer understands it's going to look a little bit rough for a while. Now this may end up being a regular one for me. The customer here I've worked for before, bits and pieces on and off. She's very keen to be able to do the garden herself. She actually also has a hater 41, but she's getting to the stage now where she can't quite do everything she used to be able to do. So the way we've left it is she's going to have a go at the lawn next time, and if she can't handle it, she's going to give me a call, and then it might well become one of my regular customers. But I'll give you an update on this lawn in the future, as I know a few people will look at it and think it looks a bit scruffy. I'll give you an update next time I'm there, and I'm sure it will look a lot better after the second, third cut will be under control. I was lucky on this job that the customer actually has 2 garden dustbins, and by the time I left this job, both of the garden dustbins were rammed full of grass. It was just so much of it. In the bigger sections of the lawn, I was getting away with 3 passes of the lawn. So I'd go up, down and up again, and then I was emptying the bag. It's just put on that much growth. Back in the days when I used to be a builder, me and the boss who I used to work for built this little corner, sort of extension part on the garage for him. It's nice to come back and look at it still standing after all these years. So now it's time to start the second pass on this lawn. I have dropped it down a couple, so now I'm cutting it on number 5. Doesn't take me long now, once I've got the real thickness out of it. Going over again on number 5 literally took me like another 10 minutes and I was done. Back in the day when I did used to come to this property with my old boss doing the building work, the husband who was living here, he kept the garden really nice, lots of different beds, that sort of thing. He grew all of his own little plants from little seedlings. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, so I'm really hoping I can take this one on as a regular customer and maybe bring it back to life a little bit, because there is plenty of work to do. So this one is pretty much all done. Customer brought me out with coffee, and believe me, I needed it after doing all this. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, be good. I'll see you next time.